What makes it different? I mean, there are a lot of people that have tried to do what y'all have done. Very few people have had the success that y'all had,
Right.
particularly in a short period of time in the retail business. Why all that success so quickly?
So when we originally bought it, my dad had the plan of building a grocery store, making it very accessible to a lot of the community and stuff like that, which I'm glad they did. But I mean, we just threw it out there. We try to get the best deals that we can. There's no middlemen because we're getting the animals straight off of local farmers to process. So it's not like we're going any through big companies and stuff. So we automatically get the prices a lot cheaper, which I'm glad, helping out the community because as we know, everybody's probably struggling right now a little bit. So We try to keep it fair.
Welcome to another episode of Best of Johnston County, brought to you by Breeden Law Office. Our host, Jonathan Breeden, an experienced family lawyer with a deep connection to the community, is ready to take you on a journey through the area that he has called home for over 20 years. Whether it's a deep dive into the love locals have for the county or unraveling the complexities of family law, Best of Johnston County presents an authentic slice of this unique community.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Best of Johnston County Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Breeden, and today we have a special guest, Kylie Lee from Lee's Fresh Market on Benson Hardee Road in Benson, North Carolina. We're going to talk about the different types of meats they provide, the processing of meat they do, some of the things they do in the community, how in the world we ended up with such a great big fresh market in Benson over the last couple of years as they've added on to what was initially a slaughterhouse and a window. I think you will find this absolutely fascinating. And if you want great fresh meat, they will be glad to help you out. Welcome, Kylie.
Hey.
Well, cool. All right. Well, tell me, what's your name? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kylie Lee. We own Lee's Fresh Market in Benson. We bought it probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and we recently just opened a store on the front of it about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, and it's right there on Benson Hardee Road, right around the corner from Benson Elementary School.
Yes, not far.
And not too far from Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it started as McLamb's.
It started
like it was a window or something,
yes,
right?
It was a slaughterhouse. It had one little walk-up window to the front. It was originally a slaughterhouse. We bought that and decided to go bigger and better with it and build us a little market on the front.
I guess it started really as that window like in 1978, right?
Yes.
Right. And who did that?
Danny McLamb. He was the original owner that we bought it from.
Okay. All right. And so how long had it been a slaughterhouse?
Close to 38 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a slaughterhouse that had a window.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And Danny McLamb owned it there in
Yes,
Benson. Okay. All right. I got you. And then you said 7 or 8 years ago, I guess.
We ended up buying the slaughterhouse from Danny, and we ran that for a little while and decided we wanted to do something bigger, better, and we built us a grocery store.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So who owns this? I mean, it's your family, right?
Yes. Eddie Lee and Shane Lee. They're my grandpa and my dad.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. And do they work there every day?
They do. Yes, sir.
You work there every day?
I do.
All right. So was it your idea? Was it your dad, your grandma? Whose idea was it to buy this slaughterhouse?
They came up with it together. We were getting out of farming, and we raised hogs on the ground and stuff, took some hogs up there to be processed, and we bought the place.
Okay, I got you. All right. And so for the first 6 or 7 or 8 years, you kept it just as the slaughterhouse that it was.
Yes, we kept the original name. We kept it under McLamb's, and we kept the original slaughterhouse. Really didn't change a whole lot.
Okay, I got you. Did you keep the window?
We kept the window, and we still have the window.
You still have the window. I got you. And then I guess whose idea it was, or how did you come up with the idea that we're going to build a store and go into, because retail is a whole different thing than slaughter.
It is. So really, honestly, what we thought was we need a market, fresh meat, none of this stuff that there are additives and all this kind of stuff in it. Everything that we have is fresh. There's nothing added to it to make it last longer. It is processed on site and it goes into the grocery store.
Okay. And so that was the way y'all wanted to do it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and I think it was sort of I don't know, it was like, I was on your website. It was like bringing back the neighborhood butcher.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was a great slogan. I don't know who came up with that, but like, we had Tim Sims on a few weeks ago, and he's a local dentist here at 4042. And he was like, I just wanted the family dentist that I went to in Garner.
Right.
And that's what I tried to create. Right. And it sounds like that's what y'all are trying to create with the old school butcher shop.
Definitely. We try to make everybody feel comfortable, feel like family when they walk in there. We try to help everybody. You can get custom cut meats. If you don't see anything in the store on the shelf that you need, we can cut it right then, right there for you.
So how do y'all make sure everything stays fresh? Where are you sourcing this meat?
Local farmers. That's where we get everything from.
So the local farmers are, and I guess given the sheer size of this place, y'all are slaughtering every day.
Every day, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I mean, so there are animals being brought there every day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know approximately how many?
Well, typically we run probably 40, 50 cows every week. More pigs than that, probably 200, 300 pigs, because we do sell whole barbecue pigs for pig pickings and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many employees do y'all have?
Little under 50.
Man, that's a lot of employees.
Yes, sir.
So is it now broken up into divisions? Like, is there a retail division and a slaughter division?
So we have the retail store on the front. We have a retail cutting room. That's where all of the meat is cut and put in the store for. We have our original slaughter floor, and then we have a processing room in the back, and that's where the custom cuts come into order from people bringing their own animals up there and getting processed, and they take that back, put it in their freezer, and they're set to go for a couple months up to a year.
Right. So that is one of the things y'all do is you will process people's animals for them.
Yes.
And I know you said you do that for a lot of the farmers around here and some of the other people that are in the retail business.
Yes.
You do some of the processing for them.
A lot of the North Carolina meat handlers, they come up there to get their stuff processed so they can take it to farmers markets, and if they have their own market, we process all that for them.
Golly, that's a lot. How do you keep up with all of that?
A lot of work.
A lot of work. I can't imagine. So at this point, is it a slaughterhouse with a retail store, or is it a retail store with a slaughterhouse? I know it starts a slaughterhouse, but which way do you see it?
Right now, we all look at it as one big collided building at this point. It's not really sectioned off anymore. When you walk in, you're going to go into the store. But right now, it all works together to make everything keep moving.
Okay. How big is the store?
It's not really that big. We should have built it bigger. We didn't really plan for it to be booming like this so early on, but we're happy that it did.
Well, I mean, particularly on Saturday mornings, you can't get in there.
No, those free sausage biscuits that we hand out every Saturday morning is a very popular item.
I definitely am going to have to go down there and get me a sausage biscuit,
Yes,
no doubt
sir.
about it. So, but now, I mean, I guess the retail store has been there since 2022.
Yes.
And it's people come from all over,
Everywhere.
right?
We have people come from Virginia, South Carolina, just basically to fill up their freezers, and we'll see them again in a couple months.
And I guess it helps being next to I-95.
It is. It's very accessible from I-95 and 40.
Right. So, well, that's wild. So, I mean, what makes it different? I mean, there are a lot of people that have tried to do what y'all have done. Very few people have had the success that y'all had,
Right.
particularly in a short period of time in the retail business. Why all that success so quickly?
We couldn't figure it out to begin with. So when we originally bought it, my dad had the plan of building a grocery store, making it very accessible to a lot of the community and stuff like that, which I'm glad they did. But I mean, we just threw it out there. We try to get the best deals that we can. There's no middlemen, because we're getting the animals straight off of local farmers to process. So it's not like we're going through big companies and stuff. So we automatically get the prices a lot cheaper, which I'm glad, helping out the community, because as we know, everybody's probably struggling right now a little bit. So we try to keep it fair.
Right. And so because there is no middleman, you can offer, I guess, better prices on these cuts.
Better prices. Right now we're doing a lot of bundle boxes, especially for like large families and stuff. We do mixed bundle boxes. You can get a 10-pound box of hamburger for like $25.
Okay. So what's a bundle box?
It has different cuts of meat in it. It ranges from 15 all the way up to probably around 30 pounds.
Okay.
And it's vacuum sealed. Everything's ready for your freezer. People come in and grab a box, take it home.
And it includes, I guess, different types of meat.
Beef, pork, chicken, just depending on what they want.
Okay. And so they can just buy that box, and then they've got a little bit of everything, so they're not having to eat the same thing every night, that kind of stuff. Well, that's kind of neat.
Especially it helps with the families that are busy. They don't really want to go spend a lot of time in the grocery store, so come in, grab a box, and you're set.
Right. Are y'all set up to take SNAP?
We are not.
You're not? Okay. All right. So you don't take SNAP. Okay. So do y'all sell anything other than meats in this retail store?
We do. We have milk, a lot of grocery items, stuff like that. We do sell frozen seafood, and we have a bunch of the Pick 5 sections. You've probably seen that on our Facebook page somewhere. Pick 5 vegetables. You can get 5 packs of vegetables for, I think it's $24.99. A lot of people like that. We do our fresh produce and stuff like that. We also recently opened our flower stand back up for the summertime. So now we're selling plants and hanging baskets and stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know how y'all keep up with all of that.
It's
kind of right. It's a lot. I mean, you're talking about, fresh produce is its own separate thing. I mean,
we have one
but I guess if you're trying to do fresh meat, fresh produce, sort of the same thing.
Yeah, we try to, one-stop shop kind of deal.
I got you. So what are the, I don't know, your website says you have 100 different types of cuts. What are the most popular cuts?
Ribeye steaks are very popular. People love the burgers, the sausage, which on Saturday morning we sell a lot of, especially after they taste the biscuits. We make all of our sausage in-house, so it's our own blends, all that kind of stuff. We make all the hamburger there too, so everything's ground on site.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I love ribeyes. And I love sausage. I mean, those are like my two favorite meats here. I mean, it sounds like, the probably the ribeyes aren't the best for the diet, but I do love ribeyes. Right. You know what I mean? Y'all sell sausage or blends or or rubs or any of that kind of stuff?
We do. We sell a lot of sauces, rubs, all that kind of stuff. We actually got our own seasoning line in. You'll come in, you'll see all the seasoning bottles with Lee's Fresh Market stuck on the front of them.
You sell other lines of seasoning and rubs too?
We do.
What are some of the more popular brands?
Redneck Barbecue Lab.
Oh yeah, those guys are great. Another Johnston County business.
Yes, they sell a lot of that stuff. Stubbs Barbecue. We sell a lot of their sauces. They're very popular, especially Vernon McLamb sauce. Okay. That's actually made in Dunn, I think. So that's very popular.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So it's not just a meat thing. It sounds like it's a little bit of everything he would find in a small grocery store.
Right.
Because you said you had milk and produce, and now you have flowers.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, that's cool. That's cool. So what other? So you said ribeyes and sausage. What do you have any other things that are sort of uniquely Lee's, like your own recipes?
Well, we make our own meatloaf. It's ready to cook. It's already made for you. All you have to do is take it home, put that thing in the oven.
Oh man.
Yep. We've recently gotten into the kebabs and stuff, like pre-made kebabs, stuffed peppers, seasoned ribs. That way you can just take it home, throw them on the grill.
Man, now I'm getting hungry. That's what'll teach me to record this during lunchtime. Now I want to get something to eat. Golly, because these are like all my favorite things. About ribs and kebabs, and what are some of the other more popular cuts?
So right now we're doing a lot of, being that the summertime's hit a little bit now, it's mainly burgers. We do especially the cheddar bacon burgers. Mix it with cheddar cheese and bacon.
Okay.
Throw them on the grill. They're really popular right now. We do different seasoned burgers. We do a lot of seasoned chicken tenders and chicken wings, so they're ready to roll. We're trying to get into the role of just already having the stuff done for the people.
Right.
That way you're not having to take it home and prep it and all that kind of stuff.
I tell you, Lowe's Foods and they kind of got into that first in the grocery business. I know Harris Teeter's now into that now, and Food Line is sort of late to the game, but they're starting to do it too. It seems to be, everybody's so busy, everybody's working, a lot of people are commuting to work.
Yes.
Like they're just looking for something that they can get that's healthy, that's fresh, and that's easy because they don't have time to cook all this stuff, especially when most of the people in Johnston County work in Raleigh and they have to commute up there and commute back. And so it sounds like y'all are trying to just meet the customers where they are, which is, these sort of meals ready to eat.
Yes. It seems to help a lot. We have noticed that the sales on those have picked up quite a bit, especially during the summertime. Everybody wants to be outside, doing yard work and stuff like that. So we're glad that we can help them with that.
Yeah. So, and now y'all are open 7 days a week?
We are open 7 days a week.
Right. That's new because it used to only be 6.
It used to be 6. And so Monday through Saturday it's 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then Sundays it's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So do you now work 7 days a week?
I do not.
You do not work 7 days a week? I hope not.
No.
But that's the thing. I was in the restaurant business before I went to law school.
Yes.
And it can be brutal. if you don't have, decent management and employees that'll show up.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. I was managing a restaurant, and we were like 5 days a week, and we were trying to go to 7. And I was talking to the owner of the restaurant, and I'm like, we got to have just more reliable people.
Right.
Because if not, you and I are going to be here 7 days a week.
Yeah.
This was 30 years ago, but still, it's the same thing.
Today, it's not changed much. But
Right.
we are very blessed. All of our employees up there, they're just like family to us. We have been very, very blessed with who we've got up there working.
Right. And so people can order right there on the website, right?
We cut that off.
You did? Okay.
It got really busy.
Okay.
So we've took a break from that for a while.
Okay.
But we will open it back up at some point.
Okay. Because you were getting more orders than maybe you could source?
Than we could handle at a time, especially on the weekends. It's already busy in there on Fridays and Saturdays. So during those days, we were getting slammed with online orders and the people coming in and wanting, custom cuts and all that kind of stuff. It was just a little hard to keep up with.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people can still call and order something.
They can. Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
call the phone number on the website and you can call, place your order, and come pick it up.
Right. Well, what is the phone number?
919-894-2587.
All right. And what's the website?
Lee'sFreshMarketNC.com.
Right. And it also has Instagram.
Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. What are the tags for that?
Lee's Fresh Market NC.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and y'all are all over Google and stuff, because
Yes.
I Googled it and found all kinds of stuff. I found, when I was looking, a story done by the Tar Heel Traveler and
Yes.
WRL News. When was that done?
Little less than 6 months ago, I think.
Okay.
They come out. It was fun. I'll give it that. It was very fun. Great talking to him and stuff like that, telling him the story of the business and all.
Right. And if you want to find something interesting, go to YouTube. You may be watching this podcast on YouTube, but go to the Tar Heel Traveler, search Lee's Fresh Market, and watch that story.
Mm-hmm.
It'll put a smile on your face with the customers and the sausage biscuits and everything. They do a great job. The Tar Heel Travel, Mike Mason's been doing that a long time, and that was a really good story. I couldn't get over how many people were there.
Yes.
I mean, like, you couldn't walk even when he was there.
That was on a weekday, so
that was a weekday. Oh my goodness!
It wasn't a weekend.
Man, that was something else.
Yes.
So,
Have family law questions? Need guidance to navigate legal challenges? The compassionate team at Breeden Law Office is here to help. Visit us at www.breedenfirm.com for practical advice, resources, or to book a consultation. Remember, when life gets messy, you don't have to face it alone.
So what are y'all doing to give back to the community? I know y'all do a lot of things. What are some of the things y'all do to help the community?
So one thing is, serving them breakfast on Saturday mornings.
Right.
We try to do a little fundraisers, and we do some sponsorships, especially for the local people down towards Benson, who are just a lot of the local rodeos and stuff like that. Sponsor them, get our name out there, help them out a little bit.
Right. And you also help the churches, like by selling whole pigs at a reasonable price, or donating some of those.
If they're doing, a lot of churches around here do barbecue sales and
Right.
chicken sales and stuff like that. We try to help them out a little bit on that.
Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
So I know you're in the food business, but what are some of your favorite restaurants in the Johnston County area?
There's one in Benson, Daddy D's. Have you heard of that?
I have not heard of Daddy
I think
D's.
there's one in Benson and there's one in Fuquay.
Okay. And
It's
where's it at?
beside Char Grill, right off of 95.
Okay, I
in
know where Char
Benson.
Grill is. All right. What do they serve at Daddy D's?
Barbecue.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good. I've never heard of that one, but I love barbecue.
I would
so,
definitely check them out.
all right. I'll definitely have to check that out. What are some of your other favorite restaurants?
Redneck Barbecue Lab is really good also.
Yeah, Redneck Barbecue Lab is very good. At exit 319, 210, and I-40.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with that. And of course,
No.
they have they just call it the Barbecue Lab at North Hills now.
Yeah.
And they're also inside PNC Arena.
They are.
If you happen to go to a Hurricanes or Wolfpack game or a concert, Barbecue Lab's there. They do a great job. And of course, they have all their rubs and stuff. What are other restaurants that you like?
Most of the local ones are probably like the mom and pop grills.
Well, that's all right. What are those? I mean, I'm always looking for places to eat.
If you've watched the Tar Heel Traveler, there's Pat's Grill and Grocery.
Okay.
They're right in Benson too.
Okay.
They have good lunch. We like to run down there sometimes and grab us a burger.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Well,
Yes,
I have to spend some more time. Not spend a lot of time in Benson in the last few years. They used to they had court in Benson, and I used to go to
Yeah.
court in Benson all the time. Now I have other attorneys, they go to court for me a lot, so I don't get to go, but I used to enjoy going down there and going to court. And of course, you had mule days and all that other
Right.
stuff. So I know you were telling me before we got on here that y'all run a big sale right before July 4th.
Right before July 4th, we take the whole week just to kind of give everybody a break before the winter time and all that hits. So right before the 4th of July, we do a buy one, get one free sale. All of the tray packed fresh meat is buy one, get one free. We'll start it the day before we go out. If you want to know more about it, you can check out our Facebook page. We'll start posting about it and on our website.
So it's probably going to be around that last weekend in June,
But yeah,
the 29th, 30th, sometime right around there.
yes, sir.
July 1st this year is on a Monday. July 4th is on a Thursday. For those of y'all looking for it on your calendars, as far as that's concerned, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So what are some of the places in Johnston County you like to visit? We talked about places you like to eat. We're always talking about the best places in Johnston County. What are some of the activities you like to go or places you like to go in Johnston County?
So, well, you've heard of Mule Days in
Oh, yeah.
Benson. That's a yearly thing that we get excited about. We sell a lot of barbecue pigs for all the people traveling down towards there for that. Other than that, I'm mostly at work a lot.
You're mostly at work a lot. I got you. So Mule Days is always the third weekend in September. It's in Benson. It's a huge festival to celebrate the mule. It has a rodeo. It has carnival rides. It has one of the largest parades in North Carolina. It has food trucks like you would see at the state fair. It has live concerts and entertainment. And the animals, the mules and the horses, get to walk in the streets. And the streets are closed for several days there in Benson. And I would encourage anybody, if you've not been, it is a cultural experience for sure. I've enjoyed it every time I went. And the parade always has, the governor's been in that parade several times. Like it's always, if you want to see people that you wouldn't always see, go to the Benson parade along with the bands and the different animals. And of course the rodeo as well. They always have a good time there. It's done by the Benson Chamber of Commerce. Loretta Bird. We'll try to have her on here, this podcast in the future. It's a lot of fun. Have you been to the Benson Library? I know they've done a ton with that.
They have. I've seen it. They've changed a lot about it. So it's not far from our place. I have to drive past it every day.
Yeah, well, I don't think a lot of people realize that library is there. And it is, I don't know, anybody listening, like it is as nice a library as any libraries you'll go into.
Probably.
And I don't think people realize, and the town of Benson and Johnston County Library Association, they really have done a good job. And so I would encourage anybody, particularly if you live towards Benson, or even if you're at McKee's Crossroads, Johnston County doesn't have a lot of libraries. That library in Benson, is as good as any library, and they have loan services and get you about any book you can imagine. And we need more people reading and kids reading and stuff like that. And of course, we don't have a library at 4042 here in Cleveland. And of course, there's not one in McGee's, but it's not that far to Benson. And if you've not checked out the Benson Library, I would suggest that. Kylie likes it. I like it. They do a really nice job there as well. What are some of the other things around Benson that people might not be aware of as we're trying to spotlight Benson and Lee's Fresh Market here?
Well, there's a grill on the hill. That's another grill. It's a gas station / grill. They have lunch every day.
Okay.
It's a big staple for a lot of the truck drivers. It's easy to get into and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
It's right off of 40.
All right.
So that's another big deal. Serve great food though.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So and now I guess the town has some artwork. They put that. Is it a mule? What is it? It's a mule, right?
It's a mule.
Right. It's a metal worked mule.
It is. It is right when 50 and 27 split. So if you're coming off of Main Street to come to our place, you're going to drive past it.
Right. And they've also put in a mural.
They have.
Right.
That is right on the side of Main Street. You'll see it if you're headed towards 95.
Right. So anyway, so for those of y'all that have not been to Benson ever, or not been to Benson in the last 10 years, you should go, because there's tons of great restaurants. Lee's Fresh Market. There's this library that is phenomenal. There's also part of that library has a history museum
Beside it.
Right beside it. That's pretty fascinating as well. about sort of how Benson came to be and the railroad and the farming and the railroad coming together. And it really grew up around the railroad tracks. I find all this stuff fascinating. Maybe that makes me a little bit of a nerd, but Benson is a growing area with a lot of great small businesses like Lee's Produce, Fresh Market, and maybe Sell Produce. So I was going to say produce, but yeah, I mean meats and stuff like that. So the last question we always ask here is, what do you love most about Johnston County? You've been here your whole life. What do you love most about it?
I love that everybody makes you feel like family. You're so comfortable with your neighbors, with who you work with. It's just a big family organized community, basically. So you're very well known with each other. If you need anything, everybody's just one step away. You can just call anybody up in Johnston County, basically, or say, hey, I need help, and they're coming.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And that's right. And almost everybody, 6 or 7 months into this podcast, we ask that question to every single guest, and every single guest says the people. The people is what makes Johnston County the best. I agree with that. All the guests have agreed with that. These are the best people. They'll do anything for you. They're not pretentious like some people in other parts of the state or other cities near ours. So anyway, which is great. Well, cool. I appreciate it. So once again, what's the phone number and where y'all are at so everybody can come find y'all?
623 Benson Hardee Road, 919-894-2587.
And Lee's
Freshmarketnc.com.
Lee'sFreshMarketNC.com. All right, cool. We'd like to thank Kylie Lee for coming on and being with us here today and talking about what they're doing with the meat market and the slaughterhouse and the processing and all of her favorite places around Benson. I hope y'all found this enjoyable and entertaining as I have, as I love Benson is one of the sort of sleeping giants of Johnston County. If this is your first time listening to the Best of Johnston County podcast, please do us a favor of liking or subscribing or following this podcast wherever you're seeing it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any of our social media channels, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, so that you'll be aware of future episodes of the Best of Johnston County podcast. The Best of Johnston County podcast comes out every Monday of every week. So always be checking back to see what new guests that we have coming on. If this is your first time listening, go back and listen to some of the previous episodes where we've had a lot of interesting guests, including County Commissioner Patrick Harris, Economic Development Director Chris Johnson, County Commissioner Ted Godwin, County Parks and Rec Director Adrian O'Neill. We've also had other local small businesses, dentist Tim Sims, Financial Advisor Chris Key. We had the Smithfield Selma Band Director Brian Jones talking about how you put a marching band together, as well as his Spartan Thunder Drum Corps. We had Miss America's Teen Hanley House. All of these people are fascinating. They're all right here in Johnston County. They love Johnston County as much as I do, and I think you will enjoy listening to them. Also, if you would do us a favor of giving us a 5-star review down at the bottom, wherever you're seeing this podcast, it will help with our visibility so more people will find out about the Best of Johnston County podcast. Until next time, I'm your host, Jonathan Breeden.
That's the end of today's episode of Best of Johnston County, a show brought to you by the trusted team at Breeden Law Office. We thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to sharing more interesting facets of this community next week. Every story, every viewpoint adds another thread to the rich tapestry of Johnston County. If the legal aspects highlighted raise some questions, help is just around the corner at www.breedenfirm.com.